So good morning everyone. Good morning and good evening. So yeah, as we already suggested, and for this one we can when the classes starts, everybody can be unmute so that the recording will be good. And if you want to ask the doubts, you can unmute and ask. So yeah, so welcome to first class of the this batch. And so today, what is the agenda is we will just we'll go through how we are going to see, what we are going to learn, and till when the classes will be there, and what will be the topics we'll be covering on what date. And there are some other things like where we will be putting the materials and where the assignments will be, and how we can access the details. So those things will be seen today. And I hope everybody get the Google Drive link. So that is a link where we will be sharing all our recorded videos, and then I'll just go to the link first. And this is the Google Drive link. Everybody should have got it by now. And it's a Google Drive for this batch. And here we'll be having some these folders. So first is assignments. So for each sessions, for each topics, we will be putting our assignments in these folders. Like once we completed Flume, we'll put everything into Flume, and Hive and Basic, everything will be in the assignment folder. And then class notes, whatever we are talking in class, we'll be typing something in a notepad plus or something that we'll be putting into the class notes. So these are basic things. And materials, so the materials is this we are currently taking in from our interview preparation and certification, and like mock exam, mock interview questions, those things we'll be taking, that we will be putting into this folder. And this will be constantly updated by us, and also by the participant of the previous batches and current batch also. They will be also preparing something, so we will collect those materials also and we'll share it for everybody. And currently we are having it for each batch, but we are thinking it to make it as a global one, so that all the even previous batch member can upload the things into the drive. So that is the materials part. And then recorded videos. So once this session is completed, we'll be uploading the video into this share folder, and the videos cannot be downloaded. You can watch the videos from there itself. And even after the class, once the class is finished, let's say the class completes in November, even after that you will be having the access to the share drive for almost 6 months. So you can watch the video at any time, and you can, even if you have doubts, or if you, after 6 months you want to watch it, you can watch it, though that access will be there. And then one more important folder, that is session information. So here we'll be uploading the PPTs, and then syllabus will be there always. And this is a schedule for this current batch. And this is currently we have prepared this as a this is tentative syllabus. I would say tentative syllabus. This will be slightly changed, and what date, what we'll be covering and all. And today it is starting. Today's Hadoop class introduction, like how our class is going to be, and those things we'll be having it. And the presenter is Usman, and I will be also handling some of the classes in this current batch. And the classes will go up to, as per the schedule, it will go up to 7th November. Today is 18th September, and the classes is expected to go up to 8th November. And this is just a tentative dates only. It might change a little bit here and there, and some of the sessions will be recorded sessions, and some of them will be online, like live. Like 80% will be live sessions, like what we are taking, and some of the 20% like pig and all those will be into the recording sessions. And also, other than that, we have some other recorded sessions also, like Uzi, and those things are already we've taken, so those we are utilizing. And these sessions will be in Tamil, and we'll try to make it into English for next this batch as well. So this is an important document, and once we complete the session, we'll be updating the status and everything will be going there. If you want to know which topic we'll be covering which day, you can always refer this one. Okay, these are the basic drive and the basic access things which we'll be covering in this one. And here there is an installation drive link, and this will be explained by Usman. Once the class starts, he'll explain about this. And one is a Google Drive link, and another one is a Zoom link. What is Zoom is? The class currently which we are taking, we are using a software called Zoom. So everybody joined using the Zoom link only. You must have got one link today. Using the same link, you can join the class every day. Like whenever we have a class, today we started a class at 7 a.m. IST. So if in future, if you want to start a class by 6:30 a.m., that will confirm it today. If you want to start by 6:30 a.m., then also same link you can join by 6:30 a.m. So that's it. And whenever if you want to discuss something with us, and if you just want to discuss among yourself, till the class is there, you can use the same link as well. There is no issues, because but if you join, you will not be able to record, but you will be able to discuss among yourself. Okay, you can use the same link to discuss for even if we are not there, you have some time, everybody has some time, and you just want to discuss, you can use the same link. Okay, so till now everybody is clear and everybody is audible to the whatever we explained. Vignesh ji and Sivaram ji, Selvam ji and Ganesh ji and Anbu ji, Anand ji. You can chat or you can say like in mic also.
Yes, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, everybody is clear till now. Only share drive link and Zoom link. These both links will be used for this. And the schedule is there and syllabus is there. Okay.
Aru?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is someone need to be joined as a host here?
No. If you want to join, you don't have to join as a host. Nobody will be the host, but you will not be able to record it. That's it.
Okay.
Host permission required to record the session and then upload those things like mute, unmute. For those things only controlling the session is needed host. Other than that, if you guys join by yourself, then you don't need a host. You can just directly join, and it's open.
Okay.
We've designed in that way only.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Aru.
Host are needed. Yeah, sure. This will be used if nobody is there. You can just join and discuss for like about class or like general discussion. We just want to enable that, so that's why we kept it like this. Okay. Okay. So other than that, and even if you have some information which you want to upload, you can upload in the material folder, or you can just request for a permission. Currently, you will not be able to upload anything in this chat folder. You can only able to download all the other you can download the assignments and materials and class notes and session information. You will not be able to download the recorded videos alone. That you can watch it anytime. Okay. If you want to upload something, you have some document which you want to share with all your friends or all your classmates, you can upload it in the material folder. You can just request for access from us so that we'll provide access, or you can forward it to us, we'll upload it. Okay. So that will be the agenda, that will be the progress we will be going into that one. And yeah, so with that note, I'll just hand over the session to Usman. He will be explaining you like about the details and installation steps that from in today. Yeah, Usman ji, you can share the screen.
Yeah, thank you, Vijay. Yeah, good evening all. Yeah, just me confirm the names like who have joined today, like Anand, Anbu, Ganesh, Selvam, Sivaram, Vignesh. Yeah. I don't say I can't get like RS Sami or something. What is that name? BANG.
Bangar Swami. You can call me Vinod.
Okay, sorry,
That's
Vinod, right? Okay, sorry. Vinod. Someone I have missed? Vinod, Anand, Anbu, Ganesh. Yeah, sorry. Again, I have some hard for pronouncing this. Itirichi, right?
His name is Vincent.
Benson. Fine.
Vincent, VIN.
Vincent. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let me call Vincent. Okay. Okay, 8 of them have joined, right? Anand, Anbu, Ganesh, Selvam, Sivaraman, Vignesh, Vinod, Vincent. Fine, okay, just to ensure. Okay.
Ushman Shankar also.
Shankar. Okay, sorry, I have missed it. Where is the name? Shankar. Fine, Shankar. Great. Okay, we have 9 people. Okay, am I audible? Is that clear for everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I will just share my screen. Let me know once you could see my screen. That visible, right?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. Just want to repeat one more thing. Like this will be a Zoom screen. In the bottom, you could see two things like a chat window. Once you click the chat on the right, you will get a chat window. If someone having some audio issues or something else or want to raise something, you can just ping me in the chat. I will respond to you. To the left bottom, you will have something mute, unmute. If you want to speak, you can unmute it. So once you have done with your questions or something, just mute it because if two or more people unmute at the same time, it will start echoing. So it will be disturbance. Since we are recording the session, it should not be a disturbance in the recording. Okay, fine. Other than that, nothing else. Let me close this. Okay, welcome you all to Tamil Booming online classes. As Aruji said, he has showed some tentative schedules. We will be going as per the tentative schedules for now. As targeted like 7th of November or something. Maybe get extended or there will be some shuffling in the dates according to the requirement or need some situations, occasions. But we try to stick with the tentative. In case of any unexpected situations, we will go accordingly. Okay. As RG said, we will be joining in the Zoom link. We will be having a class session and online session all in the Zooming. You could join through the same link which you used today. And we will be sharing all our documents in the shared drive, Google shared drive. And you would have received the access. RG has given all the access to all. And just ensure and explore the folders. As RG said, each folder has a different documentations, recording videos, everything respectively. So we have segregated it for your easy reference. So, okay, when it comes to Hadoop and Spark, so you would have been wondering what are the topics covered. Even the introduction section I have told, but still I will repeat it. Like we will be covering a HDFS, Scoop, Hive, HBase, Kafka. So other topics will be MapReduce, Flume, Pig, OZ. So this will be the major topics what we covered in Hadoop. And for Spark, we will be focusing on Spark Core, Spark SQL, and streaming. So we will be using Scala for the Spark sessions. RG has shown us schedule. At the bottom, you could refer this basic classes. This will have videos of Linux, basic sequels, and Scala. When we are just going to explore Spark, at that time, I will just share you the Scala videos, the basic Scala videos. You can go through and you can brush up, and if you have any doubts and clarifications, you can just ask us. So I'm just making clear what will be the topics we will be covering. So the next question what we have is how we are going to practice, like how we are going to join, that is Zoom, how we are going to share our videos, documents, everything, and how we are going to learn, that is we'll be sharing through Google Drive, and what are the topics we will be covering in Hadoop and Spark I have shown you respectively. So when it comes to practice, that is the software requirement, what should be my system requirement, how we are going to practice Hadoop, Spark. So when we go for software, there is something called as open source. Apache, Hadoop, Spark, everything is an open source. Apache Hadoop is an open source project. So Hadoop was basically developed in Java, and Spark native language, which Spark got developed, was Scala. So Spark was developed in Scala and Hadoop was developed in Java. So when you come to MapReduce, you will require Java. In case of HDFS, we have seen, have you explored any of the topics by your interest R&D have you done? Like when you go for HDFS, the commands will be more over like Linux commands. ls, make directory, delete directory. Since it's in storage, right? HDFS is in storage. So MapReduce. In case of Scoop, there will be some arguments. We will be discussing it. And in the query, it will be more over like an SQL. So Hive, it's purely HQL, which is 80%. 80% will be SQL. So we will come to HBase and Kafka later, because in Kafka we can use both Java, Scala, different APIs it has. So for Scoop, we will have something called as Pig Latin, a higher level language, which will be more or like a scripting language, which will be just a typo, easily understandable commands and arguments, nothing to worry about it. So OZ will be seeing it in an interface level, but not in a CLI level. So it will be in a GUI. So nothing to worry about it. So when you come to Spark, we do have a different APIs. It supports Java, Scala, Python. Since Scala is native language of Spark, we will be focusing on Scala. So is this clear? Anyone, do you have any questions till now?
No.
Okay, fine, great. So as I said, big data is a concept.
What's the streaming?
Sorry?
Streaming.
Streaming is nothing but application to just get or process the real-time data. So you can consider the YouTube, right? When you're opening a YouTube, the video is buffering at a real time, right?
Right.
When we are saving it in offline, we could watch at any time. So consider the one which is getting connected, that will be streaming, which is real time. We are receiving the packages and under the hood. When you go for YouTube and you click the video and you play the video, actually it is receiving some package at the backend, right? In a real time.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you save it in offline, even without the internet, you can watch it. So I can give you like a streaming, it will be receiving a data in a real time. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was wondering, is it something called some language?
No, not a language. It's just a process. We will be having two processes, like we will be processing data in a two model, which will be batch and streaming. Batch is something what I said, you can download it offline, you can watch it at any time, even without internet. So that is batch. So streaming is something you are receiving in a real time, because under the hood, it's going to receive some packages, right?
Mm-hmm.
So moreover like that. For now, you just keep it as understanding. When we go in depth, the understanding will change. No worry. So I'm just repeating it. Big data is a concept, and Hadoop, Spark are the tools which we use to meet this concept. It is same like RDBMS, which is a concept, and we do have some tool, MySQL, Oracle, Teradata. These are the tools, right, to meet the RDBMS concept requirements. So big data is just a concept, and Hadoop and Spark are the tools which we use to explore and meet the requirement of a big data. When you ask me theoretically what is big data, it could be said as something beyond the storage and processing capacity. Consider we do have a RDBMS system which is capable of handling petabytes, PB. What if my data is in zettabytes, which is next to PB? So how am I going to process it? So now the demand for something comes in, right? Because my existing system cannot handle a zettabyte. So how I'm going to process it? So that is something which is huge set of data. So as if I said that an RDBMS, a traditional data can handle a petabyte, only up to a petabyte, it could scale only up to petabyte. When it comes a requirement or need to process a zettabyte, it's something beyond its processing and storage capacity. Do you get it? Anyone not getting this?
Yes.
So Vim, MB, GB, PB, Z. So megabytes, gigabytes, petabytes, zettabytes. So something which is beyond the processing and storage capacity of a traditional database. There it comes in the big data. So does it mean that big data is not mean for any GB processing GB data? No. Still we can process GB size of data using a big data. But still for an understanding, I'm just putting it. Great, fine. So, okay. When we look into the softwares, what are the requirements? If you see, since Apache is an open source, like Linux, it's an open source, whereas Windows is a paid version, right? So moreover, Apache is an open source. When you go for open source software, you can install each and individual tools like HDFS, MapReduce, Pig, Hive, everything using this open source softwares. But the challenge in the open source softwares, each and everything you have to install it manually in a Linux Ubuntu setup. When you go for that choice, it will be hard for you. If you are good at admin, if you are an admin, it will be easy for you to set up. But if you don't have an admin level of expertise in installing or setting up something, we will be having a hard time to install and get practice. So open source is something available even for a tool wise. For example, say like I need only HDFS, MapReduce, Pig, Flume. I can just install only these 4 tools in an open source. It's something like installing just an external software on top of an Ubuntu. And one more thing we will have is a distribution. So when you go for a distribution, what are the advantages we could see in distribution? What are the distribution, topmost distribution we have is Cloudera, Hortonworks, MapR, and IBM Big Insight. So when you look at the market, who is dominating or who is a major market player, we could say the Cloudera and Hortonworks. They are the major market players here in when we go for India. When you go for the US regions, the Cloudera will be the major market dominator. So when I look into this distributions, what are the advantages I could see is the tools, whatever we discussed, like HDFS, MapReduce, Pig, Flume. So it comes as a package. So we own, there is no requirement that we need to install all the tools manually. Whereas in case of open source, if you go for open source, you have to download each and individual tools like HDFS, Pig, MapReduce, Hive. When I say tool, I'm just mentioning all this individual entity. So when you want the individual scoop Hive, you have to install it. You have to download it, install it, and configure it accordingly. There is more configuration required in this open source part. Whereas when you go for distribution part, it will be just like an image file, which will be more over like a doc. Have you ever used any doc settings till now? Anyone? you could run in VirtualBox or in VMware. Have anyone used and experienced any VMware or VirtualBox softwares? A doc kind of thing, DOC. Great, no worry, we will have an experience now. We will start installing this VMware and we will be using this distributions. So comparing to the open source, distribution will be the great thing to use because we won't need to break our head to make this installation configuration. It will be just like a crack file. Have you used a crack file? If you just wanted to install a software, you have to just download it, install it, configure it, blah, blah, blah. You have to do everything. When you go for a crack file, you will be just downloading a folder. When you open, and there will be an icon like executable batch file. When you open it, it's ready to use, right? Moreover, like same thing. A distribution is moreover like a package which has everything inbuilt in it. You have to just install it, and if you open it in the VMware, it's ready to use. That's it. Nothing else to do. So, okay, this will be the software. So we will be practicing in Cloudera distribution. Since it is very easy to set up and you won't have a hard time to install and use it. When you go for a Hortonworks, it will require more setups in installing and configuration. There will be some hiccups according to the version, system, everything. So due to the ease of usage and installation, everything, we will be using Cloudera. So in Cloudera, we do have different versions. Whereas we use 4.4, you will be having only Hadoop in 4.4. We do have a 4.4 because in Cloudera, we cannot get older versions. If you search Google for older versions, we won't be able to get older versions. So no worry, no need to make a note of this URL or something. I will be sharing you. So we do have a Google Drive location. It is open to all. If you just go to this location, we will be having this Cloudera 4.4 versions doc, which will be around 4.5 GB. But this will have only Hadoop. When you go for 5.x version, now recent version is I think so 5.13, it will have both Hadoop and Spark. So it's better to use the latest version, but in industry, if you see what is the version implemented or used in production or something, it will be moreover like 5.6 or 5.10. Because when a version comes in, it will be in not a stable version. Until it's a stable version, it will not be implemented in production. Even though it's a stable version, it will take some time for the company to adopt and upgrade. So still we are using, many of the organization are using 5.6 and 5.10 version of Cloudera. Even you can just download the latest version. So what will be the difference in the previous version, latest version? When you go for advanced version, you will have all the advanced features. For example, in Hive, we would have used truncate, right? Truncate option. Can anyone say what does a truncate does? In RDBMS, not in Hive. Generally in RDBMS, in MySQL, consider in MySQL. If I use truncate, what it does?
It will delete the records completely.
Exactly. So it will just empty the table, right? So truncate table name, it will empty your table. So when you go for more older versions, I think so even in 4.4, this truncate does not work. If you truncate, it will throw you an error. Whereas in the advanced versions in 5 or something, if you try truncate, it will truncate your table. I'm just giving you an example. So there are some features which maybe in initial version or development, they would have not brought it. So in the later version, they would have added it. So to explore all the possible commands or options, everything, I recommend you to go with the latest version, but still, if you think you have a hardware constraint, okay, this is a software. So when you come for an hardware, so what is the requirement if you see? To install a Cloudera 4.4, you will require minimum of 8 GB system RAM, 8 GB of system RAM, and you have to allocate minimum of 4 GB to the VMware. So you should have a 8 GB. Then you can assign 4 GB to the VMware. For 5.10 version or X version, 10, 13, everything, you may need some 10 to 12 GB minimum of system RAM. Whereas you need to allocate 8 GB of RAM to the VMware to have a better performance. If you have a 16 GB, you can assign 12 GB to VMware. So have VMware. This will be the major software, basic software what we'll be using. VMware is just like a player. First, we will be installing VMware. Then later, we will be downloading the Cloudera image file, and we will be using this image file in the VMware. So I'll be sharing this doc with you. You will have a YouTube video. This is our Tamil Bhumi video. It's a 11-minute video. You will have a detailed description like what are the softwares like VMware, where to download it. We will be downloading the VMware from again from internet. Download VM image. Just we have to type VMware. It has two versions: VMware Workstation, VMware Player. Even VMware Player is enough. If you go for VMware Workstation Player, you will be directed to this site, and you can just download the softwares accordingly. We choose download now. It will download the latest version, and it has some different version, 10, 12 or something. 10 is more than enough. VMware Player 10, 12. So you can download from this website. Just type a VMware Player. So you'll be directed to the official website. From there, we can download the VMware software. Once it is downloaded, you can just install the software. And once you have done with the VMware, download and install, you can just, for 4.4, you can download it from Google Drive. That is, here you will have this link. For 4.4, you can download it from here. Whereas for 5.x version, again just Google it, Cloudera Quick Start VM. So the latest version is 5.13, 5.13. So you will be directed to the official website. There we will be having it will ask you what kind of software you are going to use. Are you going to use a VMware or a virtual box? So we will be using a VMware. So select the platform as VMware. Get it now. Once you click it, it will ask some details, some form, your name, everything. For self-learning, you will have a self-learning. Just fill your first name, last name, everything. Then yes, agree, continue. If you just click the continue, it will start downloading. I think so. It will be around some 8 to 10 GB. When you go for 4.4, it will be around 4.5 GB. When you go for 5.13, the software, the size will be around 8 to 10 GB. Sorry. 1 minute. Yeah. So if you download the software, which is 4.4, it will be in a zip file, 7-zip file. So to extract it, you need a 7-zip file software. Again, you just type 7-zip. 7-zip download. You can just download the software, and you can just like a WinRAR we will be using, right? So it will be more over like same. It's in zip file. If you download this 4.4, it will be in zip file, 7-zip file. So first extract it. Once you have extracted, you will get a folder. So if you go into this folder, you will have this many files. So I'm just opening the VMware. I have already installed it. VMware Player Workstation 12 I have. When you install this and you open this, you will get such window. So what you need to do is, once you have installed VMware and you have downloaded this image file, extract it. So once you have done it, open a virtual machine. So just give it an open virtual machine. So it will ask the location from where you wanted to just open or download the softwares. I will just copy this location. So it will be directed. So once you go into this folder, it will show only one file, which is the VMware virtual image file. Only the configuration file you will be getting. So once you click it, just click it open. You will just get an image, like it will be integrated. So this is ready to use. Here in edit virtual machine settings, you will be having different settings. So you will be allocating the RAM. If you have 8 GB of RAM, go with 8 GB of system RAM, go with 4 GB of RAM. Since I have 12 GB of RAM, I have just given 6 GB of RAM for this. So on processor under core, just give 2 cores, which will be more than enough. And this hard disk, it will auto assign. So no need to disturb this configuration. So once it is done, you just give OK and just click play virtual machine. This will start. When you're starting for the first time, it will take some time because it has to auto configure. Once it is auto configured, it will be open and it will be ready to use. That's it. So VMware, you have to download and install this. So Cloudera image, download it, extract it, and then open it in VMware. So the detailed video here in this link, you will have again a detailed video. So I'm not just going through it. Since even if I repeat it, we will be just seeing it theoretically. Again, you will be seeing this video to repeat it. So we have already YouTube video for this. So you can just go through it. And the steps like download VM image for 5.x, we have to go to the Google official Cloudera official website. For 4.4, you can just download it from the Google Drive. So for extracting it, to extract the downloaded Cloudera image file, you may need 7-zip. If you're not okay with other zip file, if it is not extracting, you have to go for 7-zip. So just download and install it. Just an extraction. So once you have done, install VMware Player and just open the virtual machines now, and it will be ready to use. So in some cases, we will be having different Windows versions, 7, 8, 10, something, right? So accordingly, you have to enable your virtual machine settings because VMware is a virtual machine. So what I am running is a virtual machine. VMware, virtual machine. VM stands for virtual machine. So virtual machine, since we are running a virtual machine, Windows will not allow a virtual machine until we enable the BIOS settings. So just ensure that your virtual machine is enabled in the BIOS setting in your laptops. So if you're finding very hard time in enabling it, just ping me, or you can Google it. If you're not finding it, because for different version will be in a different settings. For Windows 7, 8, 10, we will have a different setting to get into the BIOS. So we have not recorded it. I'm not sure if maybe for some version we would have provided. If you are finding it a hard time, you just ping me. I will guide you. So for softwares, is that clear, or do anyone have any doubts or clarification on this? So you can just ask it. You can clarify it.
Hi, Usman. This is Vinod here.
Yeah, Vinod.
Yeah. When we download the Cloudera, right? So how many node it will support by default, that image?
One.
Only one. So
one node is one laptop. It will support one laptop.
Okay. So just to understand, if I'm using Hortonworks or the Cloudera in a company, right? I'll be having, let's assume I have 50 nodes. So do I need to do the same process, download the Cloudera in all the 50 machines?
Moreover, you will be just installing it in each and every machines, but you will be configuring, you will be networking these machines. Because to run a software, for example, I am connected with Zoom, right, with my laptop.
Right.
When you want to join this classes, again, you have to install Zoom in your laptop. Then only there will be a connectivity between you and me, right?
Right.
Now you can view my desktop. How good? We are using a Zoom software. It's common platform, right? So moreover, the same.
Let me ask the question in this way. So
Yeah.
can I imagine the Cloudera has a client tool to communicate with the name node and the data node?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
It has a Cloudera manager where we will be configuring those configurations.
Okay. So if it is a client tool, is it must to get it installed in all the nodes? Usually we won't do that, right? So for just for an example, if I have I'm working in Teradata, right? If I have SQL, I can connect with the database. Yeah, irrespective of how many node, whatever it is, it doesn't matter for me from the client side. As long as I connect to the database from my client tool SQL server, that is just a database. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, I will just put it in another way.
Okay.
When you go for RDBMS or something, it's just a single entity, right? A single tool, I can refer it as. So when you go for a DB, again, it's a different thing. Whereas you are using a tool to connect just an DB. If you wanted to run my map reducer, when we are going into the anatomy, like how it works, this will, this question will get answered. Because we are not going to bring the data into a same node and process it. We will be processing all the data in all respective nodes. And we will be bringing the result back to the single node. So to process the data in each and every node, obviously we will be required the software in each and every node, right? I'm not wrong.
Yes, I agree. But okay, let me clarify this. Let's forget about Cloudera. Let's forget about Hortonworks, right? If we install that in the natural way, we will be working the setups in 5 different files, the site core and all those stuff, right? That I understood. That we need to install in all the node and then take the IP address of each and every node and mention that in the configuration file, so that that talks between the name node and the data node, right? We are not doing it here. So when you say Cloudera, when you download, everything is set up already. So how do I know whatever the setup is done is capable enough for the multiple nodes, multiple data nodes with the name node?
Just give me some time. I will get back to it, because this is something like an admin.
Exactly. So yeah, this is Arumugam here. So I just wanted to tell the answer for this one. So what happens is, currently we are using a single node, right? So in single node, everything is pre-installed and we just need to open and it will be automatically, it will be divided. And in production, and if you go into the real time, there will not be one single node. There will be one node where they have installed Cloudera as a like Cloudera manager that will be working as a master node. I would say master node, and other nodes will be working as a slave nodes. I'll just share a screen. I'll just draw
Yeah.
that will explain. So here what happens, whatever we installed is, we have Windows, right? These are Windows. Inside Windows, we are installing VMware. Okay, this is our VMware. VMware. Using VMware, inside we will be having a, this is VMware, and inside we have a altogether different system, which is Linux, and then that is Cloudera. Okay, Cloudera Linux is there. Okay, in that Hadoop is installed. Whatever we are working Hadoop is installed here. Okay.
Okay.
This is fine, right? This is our Windows. And then in the Windows, we have VMware. Using VMware, we can connect to Linux. In that Linux, we have Hadoop. This is what our current setup is. And this is configured automatically. There is no issue. If we just open it, then that's it. We just import and it will be configured. But if you go into like production like scenario, multi-cluster, this is called single node cluster. Only one node will be acting as like a slave, master, everything. But if you go for the multi-node cluster, then there will be one another node will be there itself. There will be one another node. This will be linked using the Cloudera manager. There will be a lot of settings, which if you have to put the IP address of the what is name node, what is those things, then it will be configured over there. For that, there are certain files. There are 5 files. Is there SDFS site? Somebody is not mute, I guess. There's a lot of noise. I'm just muting it. Okay. So there are SDFS site.xml and then core site.xml. In this configuration XMLs, you can specify what is name node, what is data node, what are the components that you can specify. With that, you can have multiple nodes. Like a few more nodes also you can attach. You can keep on adding those nodes. Okay, that's how it's done in production like scenarios. Is that your question is answered, yeah, or is there still there is any doubts in this one?
Yes, I got it in the high level, but not exactly. I will keep watching for the next sessions to make sure.
Yeah, sure. This will be if we get to know the master slave architecture, then we'll get to know. But yeah, that's how it works. But we will not be doing it as developer. We will not be doing it, but we need to know how these things work.
Okay. Yeah.
But currently, we'll just install everything, all master slaves, everything runs in one single machine. This is where it runs. Quick start, you can install and you can run it.
Okay.
So, any others have any doubts in this one? Because this is the first one, we need to be clear on this one. How setup is done? Any doubts till now in this one? Vignesh ji or Vinod ji or Shankar ji or Aitrish ji or Ganesh ji or Selvam ji or Anand ji and Buji?
Okay. No, not now. I'm okay.
Okay, fine. So this
In
is
the place of Linux, there's a Windows also can be used, right?
That is the.
Yeah, I don't have a Linux on my machine, so the VMware automatically comes with a Linux.
Exactly. That Cloudera VM is a Linux machine.
Okay.
If you import it, it has Linux. Inside Linux only Hadoop is installed. Because currently there is like we can install Hadoop in Windows directly, but it is not yet supported fully and it is not yet productionized. It's not that good. So that is why we always use Hadoop in Linux environment.
So in general, the Hadoop works only with the Linux then?
Yeah, exactly. In general, Hadoop works with only Linux. It's currently hot or not, there is a distribution. They are like giving a Windows server. There is some other one specific Windows software like Windows operating system, which we can run Hadoop on that one. But it is not yet much popular and it is not useful that much. It is not yet that good. It has some issues, so that's why like not many people are using. 99% of the production is using only Linux for Hadoop. Even Windows is using Linux only. for Hadoop.
Okay.
And here, why did we put Windows means everybody in our laptop for our learning purpose, we already have Windows. And if you want to eliminate Windows, we need to go for a dual booting system, which will be a headache for us. We need to install, we need to change everything from boot and change it. In order to avoid that, we are creating a virtually one Linux environment for us to work. In that way, we will not be tampering our regular works in our laptop, and also we can work in Linux also. Okay, that's why we are creating a virtual environment just for learning purpose. For if you go into production and all, there will not be a Windows system. Only you will be like have a Linux environment only directly. As I guess everybody.
So if I have a Linux machine, then I can directly install Hadoop.
Yeah, you can directly install Hadoop, but that will you need to install the raw Hadoop. That will be a different procedure than what we are installing here. Okay, so I'll just explain what is Cloudera, because that's what the name is. Hadoop is there, right? So Hadoop comes in different things. Hadoop means it is a lot of softwares. One is Apache Hadoop core components, and then it comes with and its ecosystem. Ecosystem includes what, like Hive, Pig, etc., Scoop, etc., right? So these things are coming in extra things, right? So if you want to install everything from scratch, first what you need to do is you need to install Linux in your machine. Install Linux. Okay, and then what we need to do, we need to install Hadoop, and then we need to install again Hive, and then install Scoop. So this everything we need to install manually one by one. Okay, and if you are a beginner, if we are starting to learn Hadoop, this will be a very headache, like it will be very tough job, I would say, as an initial level itself. Correct. So because of that, what Cloudera or Hartanox did is, Cloudera told like, okay, we will create one package which have installed all the Hadoop system, and with Linux base, we will install all the Hadoop system, and we will pack it. We will pack it as a VM image. So if you just import the image, then you will be ready to run Linux, like Windows. You will be ready to run a Hadoop in your machine for your learning purpose. You don't have to worry about installing everything, because we already installed everything, and then we pack it as a VM image and we'll give it to you for your learning. Okay, that is what we are going to use. And is there any other way of installing? Yes, you can install one by one. That is also possible, but that will take a lot of time, and it will be a little bit complex than this. Okay.
Companies also follow the same way.
Exactly. Companies also follow either Cloudera or Hartanox, because they don't want to. They also don't want to worry about these things like version difference. Those things they don't want to install. So mostly companies follow Cloudera or Hartanox or Mapper, something like that. Very few companies, they will follow their own raw Hadoop installation, but that also they will have an admin team to do all these things, because this requires a lot of efforts to manage it, because company list is more, so that's why they want this.
They do in a batch process.
Yeah, they have admin team, so that they will do that.
Thanks.
This is clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any other have any doubt? And also, I'll just let me know. Like I'll just explain what is Cloudera and Hartanox is. Cloudera and Hartanox is a open source image. Okay, so some is open source in Cloudera and some is closed source. They are running like that. But Hartanox is 100% open source. Cloudera, they have some proprietary tools like Cloudera Manager. Hartanox is 100% open source. So what is distribution? What is Cloudera does and what is distribution? What is distribution? So anybody know what is distribution? Any answer or any idea or any guess? What is distribution?
The way you distribute the data.
And data, no, we didn't go that far. But anyway, that the way you distribute data.
Ready for available. Ready to available.
Okay, yeah, ready for available. Okay, so okay, so let me just change the question. And how many of you are like? I hope many of you are aware of Linux.
And also, you can say write data at the right time to the right people.
Red Hat. Okay, that is distribution. Yeah, that is correct. Distribution in right meaning that is right. I agree. What is distribution in open source? That's the question. Data will be segregated in different nodes. Distribution. Yeah, that is distributed computing, share data. Okay, correct. Sorry about that. My question is wrong actually. And what is Cloudera or Hata nodes? That is called distribution. I am saying, keep on saying that is a distribution. Cloudera and Hata nodes is a distribution. Like that I'm saying. So in that context, what is a distribution? What is Cloudera does? What is Hata nodes does? And what is Fedora? Yeah.
So Cloudera works on a network computing. So it is working in a distributed way. So suppose we are processing a file, it will be processed in the multiple nodes, and or it will be stored in though the files get stored in the multiple nodes, and it will be accessed and processed and in different nodes, and collectively the results will be sent to one such one also require.
Haruji, can I put the question another way?
Yeah.
Like, what is the freeware and what is the enterprise version?
Okay.
This is Shivram. I believe distribution, you are talking more like a an installation package, right? Which comes bundled with
exactly. So I'm just putting it another way.
It's a build,
what is
right?
the freeware and what is the enterprise version?
Okay. Yeah, that is correct. I just that's installation package. That is exactly right. That's the answer I was looking for. And this one, Cloudera stored in multiple nodes and accessed in process node. Yeah, that is perfectly right. In that case, then what does this what is Hata nodes? Or what is Hadoop itself? What is Hadoop or what is Hata nodes? Cloudera, that's fine. Stored into multiple nodes and accessed and processed in a node. That is correct. And what is Hata nodes? What is Hadoop?
Hadoop is a distributed file system.
So that is also same.
No. Hadoop is a file system.
Okay, Hadoop is a file system.
Hortonworks is the application which serves the distribution, take care of the distribution.
Okay, then is Cloudera and Hortonworks is...
Can I call Hortonworks and Cloudera as a UI for the Hadoop distribution file system?
Okay,
yeah.
The UI is...
I think these are all different builds, put together, by different companies.
Exactly, that is correct. And yeah, so I'll just tell my answer because there are a lot of versions to the answer. I'll just tell what my answer is. And what is Cloudera means? Cloudera is, we just told in previous, right? So I'll take a package, like if you install everything as if you install everything in one by one, it's a lot of headache and it gives you a lot of issues and all. So Cloudera said, okay, I will install everything for you. I'll take care of all the version difference and everything. I'll give it to you as a package. Okay, that Cloudera is doing, and after some time, Hortonworks comes and okay, I will also do the same. So they are different companies. They do the kind of same work, but in a different way. They also package it and help the client, and this also package and help the clients. They both supports Hadoop. Okay, and is this clear? Both are just different vendors. You can say vendors.
So you mean to say that both are two vendors which supports the open source distribution?
Hadoop big data.
Hadoop open source. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
basically, they are separate vendors supporting the same ecosystem, right?
Exactly. They both support us different ecosystem. They are different vendors.
So different vendors packaging the Hadoop.
Yeah. So Hadoop is an open source, right? Apache Hadoop is an open source, and Linux is a open source. Correct? Just forget everything. You just I'll just explain you in a different perspective. Apache Hadoop is open source. Linux is open source, right? What is open source? So any idea what is open source?
Open. There is no control on code. Anybody can come and write on their own version.
Yeah, correct. So it is
It is contributed by many people.
anyone can control, yeah, and contributed by many. Yes. Any other?
No licensing.
Yeah. Yeah. No license, exactly. No licensing.
Free
And
to
also
use.
no cost. Yeah, free to use, exactly. Free to use. Okay, right. So it is absolutely free to use, and you can see the code itself. You can download the code and you can create your own version and all. That is open source. So if that is the case, then everybody can use open source, right? Everyone will use open source, and they don't have to pay anything because software cost is the biggest cost in any industry. So they can use, everyone use open source and they can just enjoy, right? But what is the issue in open source?
So usually if you take a company, right, they don't go with open source because they want someone to take the ownership
Support.
if there is an issue.
Yeah, authenticity will not be there and support will not be there.
Yeah, support, because it is open source. Nobody has responsibility. Even if you download Hadoop and you stack into something, and let's say you are a company having like you are Flipkart. Let's say you are Flipkart, for example, or some kind of any healthcare industry, some bank. Okay, so if I am running a business of my healthcare, I don't have to put my effort everything and run a software. Those things I don't want to take worry of, because my focus is business. I just want IT to run as perfect as possible. So if I take an open source, then if something breaks or if some version issue comes and all, I don't have nobody to run in for the support. Okay, so that is where this cloud distribution comes in. Distributions comes in that way. So though they are the vendors that give supports and take money for that support services. They don't take money for the open source, but they take support for installation, and they will take support for the support and those things they will be having. And they also create some proprietary software and they will sell on top of the freeware. Okay, so those vendors are called distributions. And for Hadoop and big data, there are distributions called Cloudera, Hortonworks, Mapper, and then IBM also there. So something like, and also Microsoft also has its own Big Insight. It's called Big, something like that. So and goes on. There are a lot of distributions, right? So this is called these are distributions. Like mainly these three things, they are major, but only these two are major, even more major. 90% of share with only these two vendors. Okay, so that is the distribution, and we are going to work with Cloudera in our class. We will be installing Cloudera image in our laptop and we'll use it. Okay, now everybody is clear what is distribution, what is Cloudera?
Yes.
Okay, any other doubt on this one? Because this is, if we didn't get it clear, it will be issue further. So that's why we will spend more time on this one, but we'll make it clear. Okay, and Itrichiji and Vinodji and Ganeshji, Anbuji and Anandji and Subramaniamji. Is that clear? Okay, fine, that's fine. So that is what we will be installing in a single node. But in production, we will be that will be installed in multi-node, and you will be given one putty. This you will just give a IP address to connect, and you will open. It will open a like Windows, Linux environment terminal to run on that one. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, fine. You can take care. You can take from this one.
Yeah, thank you, Arjun, for the explanation. Okay. So like Arjun, moreover, like an introduction, this was the thing what we were aiming for it.
Okay, then fine.
And for the current market or something, if you look into it, like what is the big data current market, we do have a big opportunities for big data, because all the organizations who were using the traditional database, now most of them are just migrating to big data. that is using a Hadoop, Spark, everything for their processing. Because now industry are in a need of processing a huge set of data. What is huge set of data? Which will be like processing more years of data, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years of data. Because due to the competition market level, even when you want to compare something, like there are some forecast, right? This is September 2018. Now organization are just comparing how my September 2017 was, how my September 2016 was, 15 was. So they're just making a comparison to know how we are performing in the current market. Are we less or are we more? Are we on target or benchmark or something? So to know where you are, to see an insight, obviously we have to make an analysis on the existing data, right? When an organization is matured 4 to 5 years or 6 years or 7 years, they will be having a huge set of data. And startup, you will be having 1 year, 2 years of data. But when you're coming to a more matured level, you will be having the size of data, obviously it will get increased, right? Yes, no, because it's everyone can quite answer. So since market is different and the tough competitions, so industries everywhere are in need of processing more data, which will be like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years of data in banking section. If you could see, even they have more data. So the opportunities are more and the current, when you compare to the current market. So in market now, the combination, as we said in the initial demo, it is like Hadoop with Spark. We do have more open doors for Hadoop with Spark. When you go for only for Hadoop, there will be less scopes because now industries are matured. Do you people, anyone have idea how many years big data is evolving or when big data evaluation started or something? We'll be seeing that in tomorrow's class, but still I'm just asking to just get an idea of whether someone has got any inputs on this or someone has done any R&D on this. Because when it started, it was started around 2003 and 2002 and 3, yeah. But still it came in the US or something, yeah. In India, it got implemented some 5 to 6 years back. Now industries are well matured 5 to 7, when it's 5 to 6 years. Maybe in initial stage, they will have some hiccups and they will be breaking their head to get to know what is big data or what is Hadoop or what is Spark. No, but since it has almost 5 to 6 years, 7 years, now they are matured, well matured. So they are now focusing on a different thing. When they implemented big data Hadoop Spark, they just implemented or they just look into what is the cost of implementation. They implemented. Now even how they are implementing or how they are looking, they are trying to make more optimization or cross-cutting even in same big data. For example, they are not just bringing in the data whatever it is. Why, if consider the source has a 10 TB of data, they are looking into is why should I bring 10 TB of data in? If there is a possible of reducing the 10 TB of data in any way before bringing this into Hadoop or Spark, they are doing it because to just save their storage space. Because storage is obviously it's going to take more node, right? Which is the server. So again, it's going to cost them. Now industries are into a different level. So the competition will be tougher. The doors will be, the job opportunities will be open more when we have more skills or when we explore more on it. When we are just reserving or bottlenecking to only some few tools, again, we will have the opportunities will be narrow. That's what I could say. So what is required from your side, whatever we teach or whatever we just share here, knowledge, it's not just enough for you all. So you have to do more R&D and even initial class when we started this today's class, you may not be knowing what. So we would have discussed something. Now at the end of the class, you will have some understanding on some part, like software part, or what is distribution, what is open source, and how to install, how to practice. We will be having it. When you repeat this video once again, you will have more clarity on it. So it will be easy for you to get adopted, and we recommend you to just go through the installation part if possible, because if even if you're not installing it, no worry, because tomorrow we will be seeing what is big data, even that is a theoretical part. So you do have some 2 days of time. So just go through this YouTube video, and it shows how to install. Whereas I have just theoretically just mentioned, and I have shown you the windows. But step by step, how, where, everything, even till the start of the software like Cloudera distribution, and even launching the terminal in that distribution, it will be shown in this video. So I just request you to just spend more time after the sessions are over. Repeat the videos. If anything, you can just ping in our WhatsApp group, or you can just get in touch in personally. So we can help you out, not an issue. Is that okay with everyone? If, till whatever we have covered, if anyone have any doubts, clarification, you can just speak out. Aruji, that's it from my side.
Yeah, okay, Swami. So any doubts? Yeah, Vinod, Vigneshi, Subramanian, Selvam, and Ganeshi, Anbuji, and Sankarji. I was not able to play VM probably due to bias. Yeah, okay. So what is the issues with the VM? What is the issue you are showing? If
No,
you
I was able to VMware, and I was able to download the Cloudera and the image, and everything is fine. But when I click on the play VM, that's where nothing is opening.
okay, just going blank, right?
Yep.
Okay, what is the laptop you are having? Dell or HP?
It's a HP.
HP, right? Okay, HP has a problem. Just all you need to do is go to like BIOS, like restart, go to BIOS. In that security, their virtualization enable. That's the only issue. You can just enable it. It's just simple only.
Okay, BIOS. And
Yeah, once you restart, we need to go to the BIOS.
BIOS.
Startup, there will be a free tier F12, right?
BIOS setting,
yep.
right?
Yep.
You can just Google it. How to set up a BIOS in Windows 7, Intel, or something, whatever your configuration.
Got it.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to Google like that. Also, you can differently Google like enable virtualization in your laptop model. Then that will be easy. HP, because HP everything comes in same, and you have to. It's very simple only. Just let me know if you are not able to one. I'll get you the correct video. I'll post in our group. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Any other issue or questions?
This is Anbu.
Yeah. Hi.
I do have 4 GB RAM in my laptop. This is my personal laptop, which is very old. So do I need to go with a new laptop for that?
No. If you have 4 GB RAM, then what you can do is you can install the in our shared drive, in our session information, in our assignment folder, there is a shared drive which you can download and use it. That will support 4 GB itself.
Okay, that means that the 4.4 version, right?
Exactly, the 4.4 version.
For the newer version, so I should go with the new laptop.
Yeah. For a new version, you need to go for at least minimum of 4 GB is required for the VM itself. So your laptop should be having at least 6 or 8 GB in order to run perfectly.
Okay.
That is the requirement. Or also there is one more option available, which is a cloud one. So in that, I think Friday also we talked about this. So you can go for the cloud one, which is IT University or CloudX Lab is there, but they charge around 1,000 rupees per month. So that is the one thing that you can go for that.
Yeah. Thanks.
But to start with, I would suggest you can go with your 2 GB, that 4.4, and then you can gradually come up. If you want to, you can opt for the cloud, or you can you can upgrade your laptop. That depends on the requirement. But you can start with 4.4 initially. There is no harm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So any other doubts, or you can ping me. You can post in our WhatsApp group, and yeah. So we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you. I hope today's class is useful and interesting. And yeah, we'll meet in tomorrow class. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. Thank you.
Thank you.